Hi there and welcome to today's video. It's a super exciting video because I'm going to be reviewing the new Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey palette that came out for holiday 2022. This is what the package looks like when you get it shipped to your house. It's got a little flap and then out comes the palette. And here she is. It's so very pretty. I do have the one from last year, but this one is actually a little bit bigger, just slightly, and it feels a little bit more luxe in quality. And inside it's got this nice kind of shiny plastic that's not included in this one. It's just like a matte cardboard. The color stories are quite different, which I really like that they didn't keep them that similar. To be honest, like I love the colors in here, but they're not my favorite. I do reach for them, but there's a lot of purples and golds, whereas this palette definitely has more pinks, neutrals, and then some crazy pops of colors. And I'm definitely more drawn to this one. When I saw it come out, I knew I had to have it. This top row really spoke to me, so I was feeling so creative with this one. I will do a side-by-side so you can kind of see the difference. But this one retails for 103 Canadian dollars on the Sephora website and for 105 Canadian dollars on the Pat McGrath website. I'm not really sure why there's a $2 difference, but there is. It's very odd. Sephora does have their VIB sale coming up in November, so if you wanted to snatch it then, you could look at getting 20, 15, or 10% off it based on your insider status, which I would say is a really great time to possibly pick this up. So let's do some looks so you can kind of get an idea of the colors, what they look like, and then we can talk more about price points and how many grams you're getting in this and compare it to her original palettes and the one from last year. So as you can see, I do have my base on already. The only thing missing is mascara and the eyes. So I'll quickly run through the products that I have on my face. Let's get into it. For base, I'm using one of my favorites. It's the HOURGLASS VIEL Mineral Primer combined with the Tarte Smoothing Primer. And I like this duo because this is very mattifying, and then this just kind of cancels out my pores and it just leaves my skin looking very smooth and perfected. For foundation, of course, I'm using the Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Skin Fetish Foundation. I think I am in this shade Light 4. This is what it looks like here. I love this foundation. It's not a full coverage foundation. It's definitely more on like the light to medium. You can build it up, and it has a very natural finish, and it just actually lasts all day. It's quite a beautiful foundation. For my concealers, I'm doing another duo here where I love the Cover FX Power Play. I love to put this underneath my eyes and to highlight. It's a little bit lighter than my skin tone right now. And then everywhere else, I'm using the Rose Ink. So here and here to kind of sculpt. It's a lot more of a drying concealer, and this one is a lot more moisturizing and hydrating. So I love to keep this under my eyes. This looks horrible under my eyes. This is also very full coverage. I like to use it sparingly, and so between the two of them, they help to bring this look to a little bit more full coverage. Just because we're probably going to be doing a more glam look, I wanted my skin to look a lot more perfected, a little bit more matte. So I think I've achieved that. I then applied cream bronzer and cream blush. For bronzer, I used the SAIE Sun Melt Light Bronzer right here. And then I also used the Tower 28 blush in Power Hour. I like this because it's a very natural reddish blush, kind of plummy, but it works really well on my skin to give me this kind of sunburnt look, but also very natural and neutral looking. And I like the way it hits my cheeks. It also gave it some more moisture by using these two cream products, because I kind of took that away when I used the heavier concealers. So I wanted to bring back some more hydration and dew to my skin. I then powdered using the Fenty Pro Filter Powder in Butter. I like this one because it blurs out my pores, so it's gonna work well with that primer I used from Tarte. Went on top with the Hourglass bronzer, the Ambient Lighting Bronzer, and Diffused Bronze Light. I did apply blush on top, and I used the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush, and this is the shade At Night. It's like the powder version of the Tower 28. I really like the color it gives. I then did highlight a little bit using the Pretty Vulgar Shimmer Swan highlighter. Let's get into it and start doing the eye look. For eyes, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And just start applying that up top. Pat McGrath powders blend out so smooth and seamlessly. They're very buttery and they don't typically have a lot of fallout. Also, the metallics just pack a crazy punch. I'd honestly say their matte formula is not my favorite matte formula, but their shimmers are, I think, what Pat is known for. They're just so intense and multi-dimensional and beautiful. So that's what I'm mostly excited to play with. I think with her palettes, you have to be going after a certain look, which is like a statement look. I don't think they're everyday colors or everyday palettes, even though there's definitely everyday tones in here. I definitely think you could just take one of those metallics, swipe it on the lid, add a little liner, and be done. But also you could spend a lot of time making a crazy look. I'm gonna go underneath with a flat brush like this with the same color. I like to do that just to get an idea of what my look is going to be. It also helps me make the shape of the eye. I could literally just put on one more color and I would be done with this look and be happy, but I won't. I'll keep going. We'll go next into this shade right here. This is it on my finger. And I'm going to place this all over the lid. I really like that chocolatey brown color. Going back in with the same brush, not adding any more pigment. I'm gonna blend the two together. And then picking up that brush that I used earlier, going into that chocolatey color and connecting the bottom with the top. Now this is a very neutral, nice fall look. I'd be happy to call it quits here. Let's go into this shade right now. Gonna pick it up. That's what it looks like there. Very, very pretty. And I'm just taking it up. Going back in with this brush, just kind of diffusing it out. And then I'm gonna go in with this brush that I used earlier, go back into that orangey copper, place it underneath in the middle. There's just a little bit of fallout. We can just take the brush that we used for powder and flick it away. Okay, and now I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm going to put that on either side to make this a lot more smoky. All right, let's try with my pinky. Right there. I think this one is probably going to need to be sprayed. So if you're going to use it on a brush, you should use some Fix Plus or some setting spray and dampen the brush to kind of keep it as an adhesive. And it definitely has some fallout. Definitely a very, very pretty color. I'm really liking what it's looking like. Definitely giving me some like pumpkin Halloween vibes. I'm just gonna go in with the other side of this brush, kind of blend these two edges together. And then I'm gonna go back into this brush and pick up this darker shade right here, tap it off, and just focus it right there. Do the same on this side. Then with a clean brush, no pigment on it, gonna go and just blend everything together. Gonna go in with this shade right here and put it in my inner corner. We have a very kind of smoky, intense, pumpkin-y kind of eye. Very nice for the fall. It's also really nice colors that are gonna make blue eyes pop. Oranges tend to do that. So I really like how this is looking. We need to apply some mascara and some lip gloss or some kind of lip product. For mascara, I'm gonna use a combination of the Bite Beauty Upswing and the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara. As you can see, it's a pretty dramatic look. I'm gonna use the M Cosmetics Liquid Lip in Faded Clementine. I think this is gonna look really nice with my shirt and this look. And this is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I definitely love all the oranges. It might seem like a bit much, but I love orange in the fall. I do like how it makes my blue eyes pop. And yeah, they're just colors that you don't really get to use any other time of the year. So let's talk about this palette. It's 18 pans and it retails for 103 Canadian dollars. I'm just gonna point out right now that all the prices that I discuss, whether it's a per pan breakdown, are all in Canadian dollars. For the American equivalent, see the description box down below. So it's a limited edition palette and it's been released, I think, for the last 2 holiday seasons. They've come out with one. So this was last year's and this is this year's. I think it's important to break down the price per pan for these, comparing them to the original palettes that she releases. And I know she does come out with these or 1 or 2 every year, whereas this one is 170 Canadian dollars and you get 10 pans. Now in each pan for this, you get 1.1 grams, which they're not small size. They're honestly pretty good size pans, would last you a while, and there is a variety of colors. In the original one, you only get 10, and there's 1.32 grams of product in each pan. Overall, you're getting 19.8 grams of product in here, and that works out to be $5.20 per gram, which honestly isn't a bad deal considering it's $103 and you're getting a lot of variety and you get to try out the Pat McGrath formula. As a comparison, the original palettes that she typically releases has 10 pans and that works out to $12.90 per gram. You end up paying $11.28 more per pan than you do with the holiday palette. That's a pretty big amount, or you can look at it as $7.70 more per gram that you pay just for this one over this. I mean, the packaging is obviously a lot more luxe than this. What I care about is the palette, like the colors, how much I'm getting in each. If we're to break down the price difference between these two palettes, it's $67, which is pretty significant. However, you're actually getting 6.6 more grams of product in this palette as opposed to this one, and it's cheaper. So it's pretty clear that if I had to pick between the two of what I wanted to get, let's say during the Sephora VIB sale, I would definitely be picking this one because I get more variety, I get more quantity of product, and I'm paying $67 less. But also, the quality is the exact same. This is definitely the better bargain, and if you're new to Pat McGrath and wanting to try it out, or if you're picking this up for a family member or a friend, I would definitely recommend this. It is an amazing deal, and I honestly think it could be one of the best holiday finds this year in terms of like holiday savings. So I'm super thrilled that she came out with another one. I do like that the packaging is a little bit more sturdy than the one from last year. I love the color story so much. I see myself using this all year round, definitely. Like there's definitely some colors here that you could use in the spring or the summer, fall, winter. Like this one, I see myself using it all year. That pretty much concludes this video and the breakdown. I'm looking forward to playing with this. I think I'm going to try and do something using like 3 different looks, ranging from something very simple and everyday to something very glam and over the top, and something different than what I've already done, just so you can see the different types of eye looks you can make using this palette, because I believe it's very versatile. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming up in the next few weeks. I also have another big surprise coming out on my channel that does relate to this palette. So keep on watching if you want to know what it is. I think you're going to love it, and definitely you'll want to know about it. So if you do, please subscribe, ring the bell, and give this video a like. Let me know down in the comments below if you'll be getting this palette and what other holiday value sets or releases you'll be getting for either yourself or your family and friends. I'm really curious what everyone is interested in getting, and whether I should review it or not. I think there might be a few other holiday releases I'm going to get and try and review, but for now, this was the big one that I was so excited for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.